afternoon or evening. It's coming on to evening. It's probably getting on now. Maybe 5. I'll probably get comfortable eventually. I want to introduce myself, Hope. My name's Hope because you will come across me probably every now and then on the internet. You'll see something to do with me and wonder who the heck that lady is. Not unlike yourself, I was fairly secure in life and thought that life was ahead of me, and that at this age, I am now 62, that I would be able to put my feet up and probably relax. But that's not the case. The courts, the lawyers, and what have you, they failed me, and I ended up being homeless. So I left an abusive marriage and was forced to take a tent and live on Crown land. Now, I'm not complaining, because in actual fact it allowed me to find myself. But there was some very, very hard times. I'd be putting it lightly if I said there wasn't. So anyway, the first thing I did was get a tent, sleeping bag, the necessities that I needed. I was lucky. I had a little bit of money that I could manage to get those few things. And I relied a lot on my grandfather and my grandmother. They were both hunters. My grandfather especially, he was a trapper. I didn't listen to him as attentively as I should have, but what child does, and he did impart in me a lot as far as surviving in the bush, because, I mean, you know, he lived that way. Silly things like bannock, bread over the fire. For those that are familiar, you know what I'm talking about, and those that aren't, it's just flour and a little bit of sugar and baking powders and that. So I made do. But along my travels of just trying to survive in the bush, like I needed things like my hygiene. I have OCD. I am obsessed with cleanliness, and how can you be very clean when you're living in the bush or the forest, right? So there was hygiene I had to consider. That was a huge concern, and eventually I solved that. You'll find a YouTube video with regards to my washing basin. What it is just a hole dug in the ground. I found, and that I dug, I found so much easier than carrying something with me, like a wash basin. So I dug the hole and I put plastic in it and hot water at night. Every night I had a sponge bath, which was absolutely phenomenal and so much needed. Every night I changed my clothing and I put on clean sleeping clothes. And as I said in the beginning, it was a tent, and I slowly migrated over to a hammock and a bug net. I definitely would not change. I would not go back under any circumstances. It's very easy to carry. So anyway, eventually, long story short, I did get an apartment. I do have a place to live, and I am absolutely thrilled and grateful for what I have. But because of my experience of trying to survive and not having anybody to rely on but myself, and the exhilaration that I felt when I stood back and looked at a task and I said to myself, I didn't have anybody to ask, but I did it. Because if I hadn't have done it, then I probably would not have survived. So I managed to learn a lot during that period of time as far as the necessities that are needed in our homes. And I wanted to share them with you. So therefore, you will come across some videos that I've created from time to time. You'll find it, and you'll realize that this is Hope. I don't speak from an expert's viewpoint, like don't rely on me as far as surviving in the wild. I'm only giving you some tips to help you when you're hiking in the backcountry or planning on camping. Useful tips that I learned during my period of time of being homeless. Your hygiene, your laundry, etc., and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I've made my introductions, and as it is right now, I'm out recharging without need. I now use the hiking, the recreation, solely as a way to recharge. So I'll leave it with you. And like I said, periodically on YouTube, you're going to bump into me. Take care and have a good day.